Hello everybody, what is going on? Jimmy here, back with another video. Today, my friends, we're going to be talking about some Nintendo Switch Pro bad news, actually some bad news for the Nintendo Switch Pro, because Nintendo is continuing to release limited run Nintendo Switch consoles. But before we get into all this bad news, let's take a minute to give Engadget their little shout out, because they are the ones who supplied me with this news here. So Nintendo is releasing a Monster Hunter Switch. You may think, oh, this is a great thing, you know, it looks so pretty, why would there be a negative side to this? Well, I'm here today to tell you that I think that this may be a indication that we aren't getting a Switch Pro this year. Let's keep in mind that we think, like a lot of people think, not just me, but like we as a whole, as a YouTube community, not just YouTube, gaming in general, pretty much, we think that the Switch Pro is coming in March with Breath of the Wild 2. That's like the ideal situation, that's our hope, but I think Nintendo's about to actually let us down. And I've been on the Switch Pro train this entire time, but number one, we haven't even heard anything about it in a long time. We got a data mine leak that said it existed, didn't say when it was coming out, didn't give any actual details on it, just said it existed. So more than likely than not, Nintendo is going to milk the Switch until I'd say probably another year or maybe even two, who knows. It could be like 2023 when we see a Switch Pro. I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. But those of you waiting to get a Switch Pro because you missed out on the Switch, I think if I were you, I would just get it. I hope I'm not wrong about that and tell people the wrong information, but I think I would just get it now instead of waiting for the Switch Pro. I mean, there's like no sign that it's ever actually coming out here. And with Nintendo releasing brand new limited run consoles, would you really want to release a brand new limited run console to then just replace it with a brand new console like right after that? To me, that sounds like something Nintendo would never do, and maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, I really hope that I am wrong. I'd love to see a Nintendo Switch Pro come out this year and really show everyone that, you know, Nintendo has been working on this. The rumors, the leaks, they were right. Whatever they end up being, either rumors or leaks or lies, because there's a good chance a lot of them are just straight up lies. You know, we're considering the Diamond and Pearl remakes coming out this year. A lot of big information, and it would be nice to play those games on a higher fidelity screen. I mean, we have an Analog Pocket has a higher resolution screen for its size, like pixels per inch or whatever, PPI. That has a higher resolution than the Switch does. And it's just playing Game Boy games. So the Switch is starting to get outdated. I mean, the hardware they were using on it was 2 years old when it was new, and I think Nintendo loves that about it. That the price margins that they're making money versus how much it takes to sell a Nintendo Switch, like how much money it costs to produce one, put it in the box and everything, I'm going to say they probably are making well over $100 per console at this point, just because of the fact that the Tegra X1 chip is so old by this point that there's no way that Nvidia is charging them a ton of money to produce these things anymore. Nvidia needs to work with Nintendo to give us a better chip, because I feel like Nintendo sees the sales just going through the roof with the Switch, and they're just like, let's not kill its momentum, let's keep it going. And I love the Switch. I'm not here to hate on the Switch, but I would love to have a better screen. I would love to have better color accuracy. I'd love to have better speakers. I'd love to have better Joy-Cons. I'm gonna have to buy a new set of Joy-Cons. I may actually do an unboxing of them when I do get them. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know down below in the comment section. But I just wanted to bring you this video because there's a couple things I want to say also while I'm still here. Nintendo, like I said, is not going to be releasing a Switch Pro most likely. If they're releasing all these Monster Hunter Switches, they just released a Super Mario Switch. I'll have an image come up on the screen right now for you to see that too. And it just seems to me that they are just not really with the whole Switch Pro thing right now. I think it could be in development for sure. I think I think it for sure is in development and definitely is being made, but I really don't think that it is going to come out this year. Why? If you were a company, okay, if you were a company, would you make something limited, exclusive, and then go ahead and replace it like a couple months later? We're talking if the Switch Pro comes out in March, that's like 2 and some months away, right? You think they're going to release all these special limited run Switches and then just decide to release a Switch Pro? I don't think they will. Maybe they will end up doing it. Who knows? Monster Hunter Rise looks absolutely amazing, but I think it would be nice to have it in a little more power, but that's just my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong here. But like I said, these smaller companies like Analog is producing better pixel per inch screens than Nintendo can. And it's not that Nintendo can't do it, it's that Nintendo won't do it. And I feel that Nintendo is just going to milk this thing until there's nothing left of it. And I worry about the Switch because it seems like they're not even really, you know, giving us that many games. 2020 was a bad year. This year's already shaping up to be a better year. I mean, we already have Monster Hunter Rise coming out. We have Pokemon Snap, new Pokemon Snap. We have Bowser's Fury, Mario 3D World. I mean, we have a lot of games coming out this year, and it looks like Nintendo is not focusing on any console except for the console at hand here. It doesn't seem like they have any plans to replace the Switch this year, or if they do, it's going to be like a November, December thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll even do it next year or the year after that. You guys have to remember that Nintendo never promised us a Switch Pro. This was all just rumors, so there is no 100% guarantee that we even get one. We could just go right to the next generation Switch, and it just could be backwards compatible. I feel like that's more than likely than not at this point. I mean, think about it. Okay, PlayStation released the PlayStation 4 in 2013, right? And then the PlayStation 4 Pro in 2016, right? And that was only a 3-year gap. If Nintendo were to follow that, we should have already gotten the Switch Pro last year, you know, towards the beginning of the year, March 2020. So, I mean, like I said, I know PlayStation and Nintendo are not the same company and that they have no ties with each other whatsoever, but a lot of these gaming companies love to just do the same thing as another gaming company does. If it works for one, the other one does it too, and that's kind of how they roll, and I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. But under the same token, I do think that this is pretty much cementing us that we're not getting a Switch Pro, at least early this year. I'm going to read you all what this article had to say about this Monster Hunter Switch. It says, Nintendo has released flashy special edition consoles before, but its latest might be particularly appealing if you're a fantasy fan. The gaming giant is releasing a limited edition Monster Hunter Rise Switch on March 26th, more availability later, whose design can be described as elaborate. The Joy-Cons and the Switch back are festooned, I don't even know what that word is, in patterns and symbols, while dock features golden images of a central monster, Magnamalo, on top of yet more symbols. Matching Pro controllers will also feature Magnamalo. I mean, honestly, this looks great. Like, I'm not even going to pretend like it doesn't look good. Like, this looks absolutely great. I'm really happy with it. I think that they did a great job. I think these Switch consoles that are coming out look great. The rest of it says, whether or not you particularly care for the artwork, it might be a worthwhile purchase if you're already inclined to get Monster Hunter Rise alongside the Switch. The limited edition include a download code for the game, a deluxe kit DLC bonus material like special armor for Pacilio and Palamute. Whether or not you can buy this console is another matter. Nintendo has committed to releasing Monster Hunter Switch in Europe, but hasn't mentioned North American availability as we wrote this. We've asked the company about its plans. We wouldn't be surprised if this model reaches other countries, but there is also a chance that you'll have to stare lovingly from afar. So basically, no one knows yet if they're bringing this special limited edition Monster Hunter Rise Switch to other consoles. It just at the moment is a European exclusive, but who knows? This thing could come to other countries. I assume that they're going to put it in Japan. I mean, Japanese people love Monster Hunter. I mean, it always sells the best over there. I assume it'll come to the West at some point too. Maybe not at the exact release date this one will, but I also assume that this is going to be worth some serious money. So if you want one, I'd recommend pre-ordering it when the pre-orders go up. Believe it or not, I do actually have European subscribers, even though I have a small channel. Shout out to my European subscribers. Shout out to everyone watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to give you all a brief summary of my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch Pro, and if it's actually going to come out this year. I think that this is kind of a bad thing for Nintendo Switch Pro if you were looking forward to getting your hands on it this year. I think this kind of means we're not going to get it. Who knows? Let's cross our fingers, cross our toes, cross everything we have to try to make sure that this does end up coming out this year, the Switch Pro we're talking about, because this is already confirmed for this year. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop me a like, comment, maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. I will be back with uploads all the time. I will be live streaming too. Thank you so much for watching. Jimmy out of here.